Halloween isn't just about masks, costumes, candy, or cheap jump scares. It's the one night where people finally stop pretending to be normal and show who they actually are on the inside. The loud ones get louder. The insecure ones hide behind costumes. And everyone is just a little more honest, because the darkness makes them feel safe. But when a Sigma male walks into the room, something strange happens. The atmosphere shifts. The noise drops. And every woman feels it instantly. Not because he's the loudest. Not because he showed up in some flashy costume. Not because he's trying to impress anyone. Quite the opposite. While every other man is fighting for attention, joking, shouting, drinking, showing off, the Sigma does absolutely nothing. And somehow becomes the one everyone can't stop watching. Because his silence is louder than every personality in the room combined. His presence is the real jump scare. Not frightening because he's scary, but because he's unreadable, unpredictable, uncontrollable. And modern women are not used to that feeling. Tonight, we're going to reveal the deep psychological reason. Why women act differently around Sigma males on Halloween. Why they're drawn to them. Why they're intimidated by them. And why the most dangerous man in the room is the one who doesn't say a word. Number 1, when everyone else plays a character, the Sigma comes as himself. Halloween is the annual permission slip for people to escape their real identity. Men show up covered in masks, makeup, fake muscles, costumes, capes, and painted-on confidence. They speak louder than usual, laugh harder than they normally would, and try to act like the most interesting person in the room. The insecurity is obvious. Everyone wants to be noticed, admired, or validated for one night. Women see it clearly, guys trying too hard to be charming, funny, sexy, or clever. It's a circus of fake personalities and shallow performances. But then, the Sigma male arrives. No dramatic entrance, no attention-hungry behavior. He doesn't dress up trying to be someone else, because he's the only man comfortable enough to show up as himself. While every other guy is hiding behind a character, the Sigma walks in unmasked, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. He doesn't need a costume to feel confident. He doesn't need a persona to feel powerful. His calm energy is stronger than any outfit in the building. Women feel the difference instantly. They're surrounded by men who want to be seen. But the Sigma is the only one who doesn't care. And that creates a psychological effect. He becomes the mystery they can't shake. Why is he so quiet? What is he thinking? Why doesn't he need attention like everyone else? Women are used to reading men instantly, by the way they talk, brag, flirt, or act. But a Sigma gives them nothing. No clues. No performance. No mask. His authenticity becomes the most magnetic force in the room. While others seek validation, he remains self-contained. While others pretend to be someone else, he embraces exactly who he is. And here's the part women will never admit. A man who needs nothing is more attractive than a man trying to be everything. Mystery beats costume. Silence beats performance. And on a night full of fake characters, the Sigma is the only real one in the room. That is why all eyes keep drifting toward him. Even when he never asks for attention. Number 2, his silence cuts through the noise. Halloween parties are pure chaos. Music blasting, people shouting over each other, loud groups competing for attention, and drunk men stumbling around trying to flirt with anything that moves. It's a night filled with exaggerated personalities and desperate attempts to be noticed. Women watch the same predictable pattern play out, men bragging, cracking jokes too loudly, interrupting each other, or showing off like they're auditioning for attention. Everyone is trying to be the loudest voice in the room. And then there's the Sigma. He doesn't compete. He doesn't shout. He doesn't chase. He stands quietly on the edges of the room, observing, unmoved by the chaos. While everyone else is trying to be seen, he acts as if the world is silent. And ironically, that silence becomes the loudest presence in the room. Women sense it before they even understand it. The Sigma's calmness creates contrast. While everyone is performing, he is real. While everyone is forcing energy, he is effortlessly comfortable. Modern women are used to men fighting for their attention, staring at them, approaching with lines, showing off, trying to impress. But the Sigma is the one man who doesn't do any of that. He doesn't need to be seen. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need a crowd. And that's exactly why women notice him more. His silence challenges their expectations. It makes them curious. It makes them wonder. Who is he? Why isn't he trying to impress anyone? Why does he look so calm when everyone else is trying so hard? His presence becomes a psychological spotlight. He doesn't enter the center of attention. Attention comes to him. Not because he demands it, but because he's the only man in the room who isn't begging for it. That calm, controlled, unbothered silence cuts deeper than every loud voice combined. Number 3, women feel his energy before he even speaks. Some men rely on words, jokes, loud voices, or flashy behavior to announce their presence. They think that charm, humor, or clever lines will make them stand out in a crowd. But a Sigma male doesn't need a single sentence. His energy speaks for him, long before he utters a word. Women sense him the way you notice a shift in temperature when someone powerful enters a room, subtle, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. His posture is calm, controlled, and unwavering. Every movement is measured. He doesn't fidget, shift nervously, or exaggerate his gestures. There's no insecurity in the way he occupies space. He doesn't seek validation from anyone. He stands with purpose, walks with intention, and moves through the room as though he already owns it, even without demanding recognition. His eye contact is sharp, deliberate, and piercing, enough to make someone instinctively look away before they understand why. Women feel it immediately. They notice the quiet rhythm of his breathing, the stillness in his presence, the subtle power he exudes without effort. Unlike men who try to perform or impress, the Sigma radiates a silent, unshakable confidence, the kind of confidence that doesn't need to prove itself. It's solid, grounded, and magnetic. That energy creates a tension women can't ignore. They are drawn to him not because he speaks, but because he embodies something they cannot control or fully understand. They want to decode him, to understand the depth behind that calm exterior, to discover the mind behind the piercing gaze. When his eyes meet theirs, even briefly, the effect is profound. That glance isn't arrogance or aggression, it's knowing, aware, and discerning. It feels as if he can read more than just what she presents. He reads her intentions, her thoughts, even the energy she carries. Women feel exposed, intrigued, and subtly unsettled all at once. There's a pull they can't rationalize, a curiosity that grips them and refuses to let go. It's primal, because deep in the human psyche, we are wired to notice strength and presence. It's psychological, because mystery activates curiosity and fascination. And it's magnetic, because every woman is instinctively drawn to a man she cannot fully comprehend. The Sigma doesn't speak to gain attention. He doesn't need to charm, perform, or prove himself. He is attention. His energy announces him. His presence dominates. His silence speaks louder than any words could ever. Number 4. Modern women aren't used to a man they can't control. Modern women are used to having power in social situations. They know how to get attention. They know how to make men chase. They know that a smile, a compliment, or a little bit of playful flirting usually gives them instant control. Most men fold quickly, praising her looks, complimenting her outfit, trying to impress her, or following her around like they're under a spell. Women see this every day. They can predict how most men will act before they even open their mouths. But a Sigma male breaks that pattern. He's the one man she can't easily manipulate, influence, or control. When she tries to flirt, he doesn't melt. He doesn't stumble over his words. He doesn't start bragging or trying to qualify himself. He doesn't become desperate for her approval. In fact, he gives her nothing to feed off. No instant validation. No emotional reaction. No obvious weakness. And that's when something flips in her mind. Instead of thinking, I can get him whenever I want, she starts thinking, why isn't this working? Why is he different? Why can't I read him? The Sigma becomes a psychological puzzle, and modern women hate not having control, especially over a man they find intriguing. She throws hints, she tests him, she watches him, waiting for him to react like every other guy. But he doesn't. He stays calm, composed, unbothered. And that's when attraction becomes obsession. Because humans want what they can't control, and women chase the man who doesn't chase them back. Suddenly, the Sigma goes from just another guy in the room to the only man she can't stop thinking about. And she wants him even more, not because he tried to impress her, but because he didn't. Number 5, he sees through Halloween masks. Halloween is the night where everyone gets to hide. People put on costumes, makeup, fake personalities, and pretend to be more confident than they really are. Most men fall for the act. Loud girls seem mysterious, shy girls seem cute, and everyone gets away with pretending to be someone else. But a Sigma male? He sees straight through it. He doesn't judge people by how they look, how they dress, or what character they're trying to play. He studies body language, tone of voice, micro-expressions, energy, and intention. While others get distracted by appearances, the Sigma reads the truth beneath the mask. Women sense it immediately. Even in a costume, they feel exposed, almost emotionally naked. They can't hide behind fake confidence, sarcasm, makeup, or flirtation. He notices the nervous glances, the forced laughter, the insecurity hiding behind a smile. He sees who is acting confident and who is actually confident. He sees who is faking it and who is quietly observing, just like him. And that is where the intrigue begins. Because women aren't used to being truly seen. Most men only look at the costume, the body, the surface. But a Sigma looks into the person beneath it. He sees the real emotions, the real motives, the real personality. Women feel like he can read their mind, or worse, their soul. It's attractive, because being understood is rare. But it's also terrifying, because being understood means she can't hide. It's the one night everyone is pretending, and the Sigma is the only one who knows who they really are. Number 6, women test him, and he doesn't react. Modern women are masters of social testing. They know how to poke at a man's ego, flirt just enough to pull him in, brag about who's interested in them, or play subtle mind games to see how a man responds. And most men fail instantly. They become nervous, jealous, overly impressed, or desperate for approval. Women expect it, because it happens every time. One compliment and a man melts. One playful tease and he starts chasing. One challenge and he tries to prove himself. Most guys fall for the trap without even realizing it. But a Sigma male is different. He isn't moved by games. He isn't affected by flirtation. He doesn't lose control just because a woman shows interest. When she tests him, he stays emotionally steady, almost bored. She pokes fun, he doesn't flinch. She brags about other men, he couldn't care less. She tries to make him jealous, he's too secure to react. His emotional control is unmatched. And that is what drives her insane. Because women aren't used to a man who stays calm when he's being challenged. They aren't used to a man who doesn't chase. They aren't used to a man who can't be manipulated by attention. The Sigma becomes a mystery she can't break. And psychologically, that changes everything. Instead of feeling powerful, she starts feeling curious. Instead of controlling the dynamic, she becomes invested in it. She starts thinking, why isn't this working? Why doesn't he react? Why can't I get under his skin like every other guy? And once she realizes she can't shake his confidence, she stops testing him, and starts wanting him. Because a man she can't control is a man she can't forget. Number 7, he's rare, and women sense it. Halloween is the perfect night to study human behavior, because it reveals how predictable most men really are. Put them in a crowded room with music, alcohol, costumes, and women, and they all act the same. They gather in loud groups. They laugh too hard. They try to impress each other. They seek validation, approval, and attention from anyone who will give it to them. Women can practically predict every move before it happens. Who will walk over first, who will make a joke, who will beg for attention, who will brag about himself, who will try too hard to be interesting. It's repetitive, predictable, and honestly, boring. But the Sigma male breaks the pattern just by existing. He doesn't cling to a group. He doesn't swarm around women. He doesn't need noise or company to feel comfortable. He might walk in alone, or with one quiet friend, and instead of looking out of place, he looks like he belongs anywhere. His silence isn't awkward, it's powerful. He doesn't crave validation, approval, or attention. He's perfectly fine staying in his own space, observing, thinking, and existing without demanding anything from anyone. And that's when women feel it, that spark of recognition. He's not like the rest. They can't explain it, but they can sense it. His energy is different. His mind is different. His presence is different. In a world filled with copy and paste men, someone who is self-contained and emotionally independent becomes rare, and anything rare becomes valuable. Women are naturally drawn to what stands out, what feels different, what they can't easily understand or predict. And the Sigma male is the rarest energy in the room. While everyone else is trying to be noticeable, he becomes unforgettable just by being himself. Number 8, women are attracted to the danger of the unknown. Halloween is a night built for the thrill of danger, mystery, and the unexpected. The air is thick with shadows, flickering lights, and the soft rustle of costumes brushing past one another. Haunted houses, dimly lit streets, eerie music, and the whisper of unseen movement all awaken a primal sense of curiosity and fear. On nights like this, people are drawn to the unusual, the unpredictable, and the mysterious. And in the midst of that chaos, the Sigma male emerges as the living embodiment of danger, not through aggression, theatrics, or loud displays of power, but through sheer unpredictability, mental sharpness, and quiet dominance. His mind is a fortress of clarity, razor-sharp, moving faster and deeper than anyone around him can comprehend. His thoughts are unreadable, his intentions subtle, and his reactions impossible to anticipate. While others follow patterns, mimic trends, and perform for approval, he refuses to conform to any expectation. To women, he becomes the ultimate plot twist in a world that has grown predictable. She cannot anticipate his next move, his reactions, or his desires. That unpredictability is magnetic, it draws her in, sparks her curiosity, and awakens something primal in her subconscious. Modern women, often accustomed to men who can be easily read, predicted, or manipulated, feel an irresistible pull toward the Sigma precisely because he cannot be controlled. He is the unknown they want to explore, the danger they secretly crave, and the thrill they cannot resist. Every glance, every pause, every unreadable expression becomes an invitation, and every moment with him is tinged with tension, excitement, and intrigue. He represents the kind of mystery that makes hearts race, pulses quicken, and thoughts linger long after the night ends. In a world of predictable men, the Sigma is the danger that excites, the unknown that fascinates, and the unpredictable force that women are irresistibly drawn to, both terrified and captivated by his presence. Final words. While most men spend Halloween chasing attention, performing for approval, and desperately trying to be seen, the Sigma male does something far more powerful. He doesn't need to compete at all. He allows women to come to him. He doesn't beg for validation. He doesn't force charm or rely on jokes, lines, or flashy costumes. He simply exists, calm, grounded, and self-assured. In a room filled with noise, chaos, and pretense, he quietly commands attention through his presence alone. His authenticity radiates. His composure dominates without effort. His mystery pulls without manipulation. On a night when everyone hides behind masks, pretends to be someone else, or shouts to be noticed, the Sigma male stands apart, unmasked, untouchable, and impossible to predict. Mystery becomes stronger than muscles. Silence becomes louder than shouting. And a man with complete self-control, emotional independence, and quiet confidence is far more magnetic, and far more terrifying, than anyone else in the room. Women notice. They feel it. They can't read him. They can't figure him out. And that inability to understand him becomes an obsession. While others fade into the background, the Sigma male imprints himself in their minds. On Halloween, as on any other night, he is the man who cannot be replicated, imitated, or controlled. He is unforgettable. He is the one women think about long after the lights go out, long after the music stops, and long after the masks and costumes are packed away. In a world of predictable performances, the Sigma male is the singular, enigmatic force who leaves an invisible mark, commanding respect, desire, and fascination without ever uttering a word.